see. All right.
Ah.
Not on screen.
You are on screen, and you hit me to get here.
But I was sitting over here and I wasn't on screen.
There we go. It's just double checking.
Bonest of cheers to you, Ragdoll.
There we go.
There we go.
I attempted.
Let's see. I'm about to get some big news here.
Okay. So that answers that.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome. It's Thursday. It's July 20th. What does that mean? Oh, what that does mean is this weekend, yes, this Saturday is our Patreon live stream.
Yep.
For July.
Yep.
Because this month we actually had two, because we kind of missed June because a lot of last minute things happened that took out our weekends for the whole second half of June, essentially.
Uh-huh.
And so we had to push a stream from June into July. And now we're actually ready to do the July stream. Mm-hmm. And so we're back on schedule.
Yep.
And that will be this weekend, where I think we're going to keep working on the Young Elephant. And then I will...
Getting close.
I will do one of the languages, whatever I'm in the mood.
One thing that we could do, because now that I have been making some further progress in getting towards playtesting this game, is I'm looking at some of the spots where language material is needed, mm-hmm. and we haven't done anything. We've been doing some great work coming up with names that eventually will get used for classes and things like that. But one of the things, and I don't know how this escaped us for all the way into the 5th season now, we don't have any names for any places at all. And I don't mean generic places like, forest versus valley or whatever. I mean like names for actual like little cities or villages or nations or anything. We don't have any of that. And we could use that. So, that might be something that you could look at on Saturday.
Well, and that could be exciting because we could actually kind of go back all the way back to the rabbits while you're working on the Young Elephant and like really think from there, because actually the rabbits are the only ones we even talked about personal names.
Yeah,
and we actually came up with ideas for how to create people names, rabbit names.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. No, we don't. That's another thing. Thank you, George. But another thing is that we came up with strategies for names for rabbits, mm-hmm. but we didn't actually come up with any names. We need to come up with some actual names too.
I thought we did. I thought we had a couple.
We did?
I thought so.
We need to.
I know we also actually like named the seasons and stuff because that was going to play a role in the rabbit names.
I will say to George's point. So George has asked if we have a world map. Which we don't. At the beginning, like I was imagining this would be somewhere in Northern Europe, but as was pointed out with some of the animals that we were choosing, it just didn't make any sense for it to be in Northern Europe. Like you'd have to come up with explanations involving like, well, I guess a lot of them ended up in zoos or whatever, because really this was faunae, if you will, from North America.
Yeah.
And so that was when we switched it to Northern Canada. Knowing that, mm-hmm. I know the geographical features I want, so mm-hmm. all we have to do is really just go to a map of Canada and see where it makes sense.
Wasn't it specifically the possums?
Yeah.
That kind of threw things off?
Yeah, because there's, I guess, North American and also Australian opossums, but that's it. And it also seems like kind of an odd animal. I'm sure you can find some in a zoo somewhere in Europe, mm-hmm. but I don't know. Usually it's more exciting animals that get brought over for zoos.
And so there you have it. Probably don't capture rodents for other places.
Ooh, Agora. That's a cool name.
And so that could be where we head on Saturday with the patrons. So that will be exciting. And at some point before we have 11 days to record the next podcast episode, which is going to finish our discussion on romanization, since David had a lot to say the first time out.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even make it to the best practices. All right. So anyway, that's where we're headed. Today, though, do we have any other general announcements before we jump into the poll and then get languaging?
No, not yet. Wait. Oh, do you want to explain our shirts?
Oh, and I wore mine just because I knew you were wearing yours, and so
Yeah.
I thought I would be thematic. And so I don't really know when we're on screen. Should I do OBS or YouTube to see when we're on screen?
OBS, I think it's easier.
Because it's a more immediate. Okay,
Yeah,
so here is my shirt. Whoop whoop. There we go. Wow, I got to move all backwards, but it's very cute. Doxy wiener dog shirt.
Yeah.
David's is also a very cute. Make sure. There
you go.
Short and sassy.
Yeah.
All right. So those are our shirts. And we specifically bought these shirts to wear this past weekend to the Wiener Dog Nationals.
Yeah.
Which is literally what it sounds like. It's a race for wiener dogs, and it's like the nationals, and so you get dogs mostly from Southern California, but they could be from anywhere, and people bring their wiener dogs to race other wiener dogs, and in between they had some horse races, I guess, to show what big animals can do. But it was really cute, a lot of fun. And it's one of those events that, like, all the fees that are raised, all the money raised goes toward animal shelter. So it's like it's a fun thing. It is not at all like full of stress with owners being super weird about their dogs. They get to actually like stand at the finish line and like with their little squeeze toys and things like that to try to get them coming the right direction. And they have like people there from the Wiener Schnitzel restaurant. They have people there like at the sidelines trying to make sure the dogs stay on the tracks because, well, you put 8 dogs out to race, some of them get a little distracted. It's really cute.
One of my favorite phenomena from these races is you'll have the race and it's adorable and you watch it and the puppies just kind of run around, and then there's a finish, and then there's a lull. And then everybody kind of starts chatting amongst themselves, but nobody is moving there, because then 5, 6, 7 minutes later, suddenly another great cheer arises as the last dog finally gets to the finish line because they just got busy doing something else. And it's like sometimes you even forget. It's like, wait, what's happening? Like, who's everybody cheering? It's like, oh, it's the same race.
But that one dog that got a little sidetracked. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Very cute.
Yeah.
All
right.
And so that's the shirts.
Yep.
Now we're ready.
All right. So our poll is so we were talking about potential versus permissives. By the way, it's great what you see and no, we don't. We don't have a ton of dog species. We need them. If you look up walls when it comes to things like the word can, there are like 4 to 5 different categories of can that have to do with whether it's something is potential at all, whether it's like physically able. It's just like, and there's all these different categories. They've diced this one up like they have in any other mood, but we're not gonna bother with that. So what we were asking was how we were going to do potentials. So like the regular would be, I am throwing this scone in the trash where it belongs. Potential would be, I can throw this scone in the trash. Whereas a permissive would be, I may throw this scone in the trash. In other words, I am allowed to. Whereas can means I am able to. I'm physically able to, or maybe if physically able is just not in question, it's like I have the opportunity to do so. In other words, like I'm next to the trash can, so I can throw it in the trash. something like that. Anyway, so those are three things.
I do want to put in here, I enjoy a good scone, and so I am not in David's scone trash
I enjoy a good
scheme.
scone too, but I haven't had a good scone yet. I don't think one exists. But if
Anyway.
there were a good scone, I'm sure I would enjoy it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there that I would eat the scone. And so mine would be, I am eating this scone. I can eat the scone. I may eat the scone.
Oh, let me tell you about the first time I had a scone. I looked at that thing and it looked gorgeous. And I was like, wow, look at that. And you say it's called a scone? I've never heard of that. And I pick it up and I bite into it and I was like, a little hard. Tastes vaguely lemony.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like
Anyway.
a little bit like a cleaner, you know?
Oh, no, not nice, but...
I've only ever had one other experience like that, and that was the first time I ever bit into a hard meringue. I was like, ooh, this thing looks exciting. And I bit into that thing. It's just like, oh, what is this awful thing?
David has opinions. Anyway.
And it looks so beautiful. That, I think, probably was the most disappointing thing about the scone, was the difference between how it looked, how promising it looked, and how, I mean, aggressively mediocre it was. It was just a massive disappointment on so many levels.
You disappointed the scone, too.
Oh, I'm sure it did, because the scone took a look at me and said, like, I thought you were going to be boring.
Oh my gosh.
That's a scone.
Anyway.
That's a scone.
So these were our options. Those were the three things we were talking about.
Right.
What were the actual options?
Right.
David?
Okay, so the option one was that we weren't going to have any permissive function. There wouldn't be anything special for it. So we were going to have a potential probably. But the notion of like permissiveness just wouldn't be relevant to doggish culture. The second one would be actually identical to English. So the potential equals the permissive. So in English, we technically have a separate permissive, kind of. And that you say may means permissive and can means able to, but of course we know that can be used for permissive. It's actually very funny. I know I've told the story before, but the word may, right, it comes from a source that is a root for strong.
For might.
Yeah.
And like as in might as in strength, not might as in the tensed version of may.
And in fact, it originally meant can, just the way that can does. And there's a wonderful example of this in Thomas Mallory's Le Morte d'Arthur. And it's, I forget the circumstances, but it's Guinevere has been, I don't know if she's just been, like fallen into a faint or into a daze or something like that. But she's fainted away. And then when she comes to, as it says, you know, in the flowery language of Mallory, but it's like, and when she might speak, she said. And it's an example of might being used as physically able. And now people get all stody and say, like, I don't know, can you get up? When, you know, thinking that you're supposed to use may, when really may just used to mean can as well.
Now I'm wondering, because actually we have Wiktionary, why I don't need to wonder.
Yeah.
Because the way can used to be used in English, it
came from no, right?
That's what I think, right? Doesn't it? Because you used to just say, like, I can French to mean, like, I can speak French.
It comes from the same root, I believe, as kennen in German.
Okay, so that's like what I was just thinking was, I wonder, yes, it is. Oh, how wonderful.
And this is where uncanny comes from. It means unbelievable or unknowable.
That is gorgeous. Okay, so anyway, so may was really the physical, because it came from the strength kind of background, and can was the mental ability, really. It was like, you know, so
and incidentally,
you can.
Yeah, and incidentally, as we move forward in this episode toward developing our potential, two of the primary sources for that are words for strength or words for knowing, with the idea being not like, in the sense of knowing how to do something. So that was what means can. In other words, like, can you ride a bicycle? Yes, I know bicycles, right? And we actually do have that sense in English. I know bicycles. I know video games, so I can do that. But that ultimately is like for a lot of languages just gets bleached to the point that that's the word for can. So anyway, so that was another option that that we just have our word for can double as our word for may. And then C, the option was to have separate words for either one. So separate word for permission, separate word for potential. All of them valid options. And but there was a clear preference, and it was replicated in each of the three polls. And so the not having a permissive, that came in last place. And then the top two, whether to have separate words or the same word, the clear preference was actually to have the same word.
Nice.
So that is where we will start with Hauhof today. We'll create our potential, and it will double as our permissive. So I've been stalling a bit. I know that we really like to get things going straight away when we jump on the stream. And so I apologize for the delay, but I forgot to charge my laptop, and so I was letting it get some juice before I actually needed it. I think I have enough juice now.
Well, and I told you you could use my. I know, like
it just needs to get through like an hour.
Okay.
40. I think it'll be fine. Yeah. Anyway, what?
And Jared had asked about Marvel Secret Invasion scroll conning, and unless David has a secret project that I don't know about, I'm going to say no.
No. That was. You can read about that. It was two guys from Cornell University first worked on the Captain Marvel movie.
I was going to say that was a while ago, wasn't it?
The Captain Marvel was. This one's new.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. And so I've brought us to the place in the document where we had our options laid out. Now that we have, apparently that's connected to the image. Now that we have our option, we take away that because we've already voted on it. And so now we know that we're going to need one auxiliary for both the permissive and be able to. And we've already come up with some ideas that we can play with. Oh my goodness, Tethys. That's amazing. Tethys managed to vote while in a tent in Kenya, but like didn't remember to once they were back at home with their laptop, everything's there, and like, whoops, totally understand, but like also that's amazing.
For the game, well,
I don't know.
Well, Mateus, David Sallow did the black speech for the Hobbit movies. At least if it's the same one, the one that the orcs speak.
That sounds right.
I don't know. But yeah, it features quite a bit in the Hobbit movies. Now, if he also worked on the game, I don't know.
All right, so that may take a while to figure out. As in,
oh my God! Look at these scores.
Oh, so it's apparently not well received at the moment.
Its highest score is a 64 out of 100. Most of them are quite a bit worse than that.
No, wait. No, wait. Yeah, that is the highest because then 6 out of 10 is
Mm-hmm.
lower. Um, but it goes as low as 2 out of 10 or 1 out of 5, and so which is the same mathematically. But anyway, yeah. So apparently not necessarily well received, but don't know about the language quite yet. Um, so you had just talked about like the idea that a lot of languages could use no, and no is indeed one of our ideas that we had for this auxiliary. And so, oh, Mateus um, says the game is one of the absolute worst high value releases in years. They literally disbanded the development studio over it.
Yikes.
Um, Yikes. Yeah. And hey, Chris. So, anyway, oh, and George had mentioned that in the books, the orcs don't actually speak Black speech. They speak distorted versions of other languages, mostly Western, he thinks.
Well, how the heck was I supposed to know? Um, so he provided assistance with Hudzul for the 2023 video game The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, but there's no mention of the other game. But and it doesn't say anything about what he specifically did for the Hobbit trilogy. Whoever is doing this, whoever's
the other way.
doing this Wikipedia article is terrible. Like, why do you think that like we would want all of this detailed information about Elvish, Hudzul, Tamar, and Kirith and whatever in the first films, and then not in the other ones? I mean,
Maybe they didn't update it after the first one.
It's digital real estate. You're not losing. You're not. It's not costing you anything.
Magpie said the studio had to release an official apology for how bad the game was.
Nice.
Wow.
But the thing is, like, you know, in the original Lord of the Rings movies, he was just a translator. It was the second one where he actually created a language because, and I could have sworn that it was the Black speech because Tolkien had almost nothing on it. And there's entire lines of dialogue by the orcs in this language that he created. Hold on a sec. He had a blog at one point in time.
I promise at some point we'll get back to our dog language and this auxiliary. I do want to say Mateus took us on this spiral.
Oh, and here we go again. This is usually referred to by
Tolkienists
as neo-Black speech because, of course, they have such a stick in their butt about all this stuff. God, I hate Tolkienists. And also just, I'm not a fan of Tolkien's stuff. I'm glad it exists. I'm glad there are movies. I'm glad I saw each one of them once, but that's about the extent of it. Just not a fan. Anyway, whatever. What are we doing?
Waiting for you to get back on the dog language.
I'm on task here. Here we go.
And I was just pointing out that I guess Jared was the original sidetracker for asking about the one language, which caused Mateus to ask about another language, which caused you to go down a wormhole.
Yeah. Oh, there's it's not like conlangs in general, George. It's they're adamantly opposed to the Language Creation Society, and like you will get banned for life if you try to make an article on it. But on the other hand, there are separate Wikipedia pages for Mark Rosenfelder and Zompist.com. Yeah. I really had no idea Tolkien had that idea. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, it makes sense, though. All right. I'm going to pull up the YouTube, us on YouTube, so that I can look at chat sometimes.
So now David is just now getting onto YouTube to join us in the chat.
The placement of that heart thingy is really annoying. Can we move it?
I don't think so. I mean, it's smaller on your screen.
Yeah, you can't move it. Maybe if you right click on it. No, you not even if you right click on it. Well, anyway, since we're here, woo!
And there goes David.
Look at him go. All right.
Celebrating the fact that David is finally here with us. Woo! Magpie says 50% of conlingers are mad that Arabic did a trilateral root language before they did.
All right. Okay, so here we are. And potential. Well, not that. Oh, wow. It's the only occurrence of the word potential. What page is that?
Well, you can join me, but permissive is what you're looking for.
I'm going to have to close this.
Click it again. Click into the document and then click it again.
I'm so glad this was so much faster.
Well, go for permissive. I told you look for permissive. Goodness, David.
All right. Okay.
We're struggling here. For whatever reason, it's not letting him jump to where I am, even though my cursor is active and I was in the document doing things.
All right. Well, some of these ideas we have make sense only for permissive. I'm not sure if things ever start out as permissive and then become potential.
It feels like it would start the other way. Like you're able to, and then like if somebody else looks at you and says you're able to do this, like you could see how the meaning could get construed in multiple ways, meaning like I'm remarking on your ability to do an action, which is like good for you, but also like you could see that could be taken as a sort of permission to say, I'm going to go ahead and let you do that.
All right. I was going to pull up Wolog.
I'm so glad that my little abbreviation has stuck for us.
Yeah.
The Wolog.
And I'm going to find...
Or the Wallig, depending on how you want to say it.
Okay, so they have C possibility, which is root possibility, D possibility, which is permission, and PI possibility, which is ability. And you see that C possibility, by the way, its most common sources are D possibility and E possibility. Now, E possibility isn't listed anywhere on here. I don't know what E possibility is. D possibility can come from D necessity. PI possibility, like all of these possibility ones come from other possibility ones. This isn't good. I need to dig further.
I don't think Google agrees with E possibility. Also, though, in the book, if you want to actually grab the physical book, you can actually go into like the section where it's E possibility.
Somos los tesoros del mundo.
Because these...
I want to just jump to one. Okay. So they're arranged alphabetically like that.
Yeah. And so it would be at the beginning of the E section.
Or it would be at the P part.
Seeing as how they had H possessive after the E's, I'm going to say it's at the beginning of the E's.
All right.
But these still So they maybe don't have E possibility.
No, they don't. They don't have that.
They're really playing us.
Yeah.
What was the source for E possibility, or was the E possibility a source for something else?
E possibility was a source for something else.
Yikes.
We can look up D possibility, but they had those all listed by P. Say me.
Seeing.
Yeah, here's PI possibility leading to E possibility.
So ability towards a more generic possibility?
He will be able to do it. There may have been an accident.
Oh, it's the extended version where like you look outside and the ground is wet and you're like, it must have rained.
Hey, that's my professor, Eve Sweetser. She's so good. Compare D possibility to D necessity, PI possibility to D possibility. So this isn't super helpful.
They don't have a glossary or anything?
This isn't super helpful because they don't go back far enough, which is a weird thing to say about the WOLOG, because that's kind of its thing. But no, it doesn't go back far enough.
Also, hey, Carl.
Look at this one. I like this. So the progressive, they use stand, but the way they've done it is I talk, I'm standing.
Nice.
I don't know why this one's gloss is I'm standing, though, because that presupposes there's some sort of separate progressive marker, and it's just used for that to make a progressive marker.
I don't know.
Ooh, I stand for eating meat, and that's I am eating meat.
And eat at that point is a nominal.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Okay.
And how do you spell eat? USA. USA.
Well, if you'd stop moving the book around.
Sorry.
USA. That's fun.
Probably.
Okay.
USA.
It's a long vowel, isn't it?
I think it's a tone.
Oh. Well. Anyway, David, do you want to stop reading entries and join me for us talking about what's going on here?
Ooh, hang on a sec.
No, he doesn't want to join me.
I am eating meat, or wow, you could either say I stand, I eat meat, or I stand for eating meat. You could say either. That's so cool. Anyway, all right. Should I give it to you? Like, do you want it, or do
I
you
need
want me
to take it away from
put
you.
it back? I'll put it back.
I'm going to take it away from
Put
you.
it back.
I need you to focus on what you learned from that excursion.
Yeah.
And
nothing. We learned nothing from that, but we already know stuff. And I know this stuff. Like, I don't even remember how I know this stuff. It probably came from Bybee. It probably came from the sources that they used. But
go on.
But it's not in there right now, so we're going to ignore it. And we are just going to do our own thing.
I like it. I am, though, like, oh, they do have E possibility is just generic possibility.
Oh, look at all this.
B necessity is intention, D necessity obligation, E necessity probability. C possibility is root possibility, D possibility is permission, E possibility is possibility, and pi possibility is ability. And so.
Participant internal.
And so I think that means external possibility.
Oh, yeah.
And
or no, epistemic, I think. Epistemic versus deontic.
And then...
Ooh, deontic. That is a very fancy Valley pronunciation. I like it.
And so, anyway, if we had just looked in the grammatical concepts used in this work section, we could have answered that a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all that is to say, we have the ability here to make some choices about how we want the dogs to do possibility.
That's word possibility, by the way.
And permissive.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, back to this. Because, of course, the question we were trying to answer is if we could go from permissive to possibility. Doesn't seem likely. So I think that we're going to have to remove those. So, like, I know that these were for permissive. Eyes. Yeah, closed eyes was for permissive. Yeah, heard. Maybe.
I feel like we could get like ability, because like tear would target that like strength. Reading for ability.
Yeah.
And so like that one feels good. Bite, same thing. No, same thing. Retrieve and hurt are sort of like on the border, but like, you know, if you heard something, you can do it.
We're at the narrowing down phase of this exercise. Honestly, I really like this. Mm-hmm. With this understanding, I think it makes a lot of sense, because it's like you have things that you can bite into that you can't tear versus things that you can, and so this kind of points up that distinction. I really like it.
And so I like that one too. I also like, I would also be fine with using a more generic, like see or no. Carry feels more like a possum possibility, ability.
Yeah, I think so too. Possibility.
Because they can carry it. And so I think I don't like take as much for this one. So see, no, and then if we wanted to do some sort of noun base,
yeah, it would
that gets verbified.
It would be an entirely different type of
construction.
Yeah, it would be essentially, because like our adjectives come from nouns, and so you'd be like, I am a strong one, and some sort of connective that's essentially means with respect to, and then a nominalized one. So like, I am a strong one for eating rocks means I can eat rocks. That's how that one would work if we did that. The rest of these are just standard verbs.
So that would give us a really drastically different, which could be cool.
Yeah.
But it would be like way different from any other strategy that we already have in the language. And so I'm happy enough with these that if we wanted to poll people here,
all right,
I would be happy with that. Are you happy enough with all four to poll?
I am. We have too many choices, though, because, of course, one option has to be whatever Biblaridian says. The other one has to be whatever Artifexian says.
Those will get all the votes, though.
Yeah.
And then we got to see. I don't even know. Biblaridian hasn't chimed in yet. I haven't seen Artifexian chime in.
Oh, he's long gone.
So I don't know.
Biblaridian is writing up a blog post about how much we suck right now. Can't blame him. All right, what shall the etymological source of our potential auxiliary be? Okay, these are, just a reminder, these are meanings, not forms. Okay, so we have see, tear, no, strength. And I actually am going to go...
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, nice, George.
Oh, What? Oh my goodness, Biblaridian is coming to Conlangery. Now it's just...
And George may already know. They may have already been recorded, and we're just waiting for it to be released. And so George may know all the secrets of how Biblaridian feels.
I can't. Oh wow. Extraordinary.
I'm on edge.
Okay. You.
Ow.
You just...
David's leaving me. Just for the moment. But pushing chairs into me on his way.
Status is single.
All right, so I am excited to see what you all think. I think we have some really good options here. And I'm going to see if I can find, well, no, I don't even know. This is going to depend on, I was going to see if I could find something I could copy and paste, but this is really going to depend on what strategy we have. Also, we're going to be adding it up here somewhere. Oh my gosh, once we get rid of this, this is the end of our original purple list for all of the verb things. Once we finish this, I think we're ready to like go on to some other feature.
That's right.
Oh, that's exciting.
That's right. Okay. Looks like 50% of the respondents have responded. Biblaridian
is here. I just figure, George, anytime Biblaridian is speaking, it's really about LangTime, because, I mean, we are just so important in Biblaridian's life, being his company and all. And so, you know, I just assume that, you know, even if Biblaridian is talking about lighthouses, really is talking about LangTime. I just assume.
Yeah, I'm really surprised, though, George, that you didn't learn from our mistake and didn't have, you know, you could have told the leaf blowers to come another day during your interview. But, you know, to each their own. All right, looks like
so let's close this.
Yeah, we have consensus there. It looks like we're going to do tear, the verb.
All right,
that works.
You remember this, right?
Yeah.
Because permissive, be able to, and
tear.
That. We're going to delete and then...
Yeah, and adjust.
This is where the purple started. Interesting.
Yeah.
But, like, what's going to happen?
It's going to do that. So you're going to have to either shrink it, move it, or move that down.
I need to ask you...
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make it inline so that way...
It is inline.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's automatic.
Oh, you mean...
I mean inline with text, so that way it, like, stays where you place it. And then as you enter and stuff, like if we want this to be below, we can do that. And
yeah,
then
I suppose
everything stays around it. We could also like center.
Yeah, it's a good divider. I like that.
And that is the end of our verb section. So
well, fine. Then I'll just borrow a leaf blower and blow it right back at you. We'll have a leaf blower competition.
Oh my goodness! Speaking of leaf blowers, though, because they come to our area on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they're not here right now.
Yeah, they came in the
sometimes they are here right now. Right now they are not. But I had gone out for a walk today in between work sessions to you know, get my mind all cleared and whatnot. So I'm out on my walk. And as I was walking down the sidewalk, coming back, the leaf blowers were like there, but there's like a fence, so they can't see that somebody's on the sidewalk trying to walk. And they're blowing all that crap out from behind the fence into the sidewalk. And so I literally had to stop and wait for them to finally get close enough to the fence that they could see me, because I couldn't walk. Like, I either had to decide to walk through the massive whirling amounts of dust, debris, and leaves, and potentially then get all allergy reacted. But so I just had to stand there and wait until they finally came up to the fence and saw that I was standing there, and then they stopped.
I would have just yelled.
You can yell all you want. They can't hear over that.
Oh, I can project.
Anyway.
I can project as well as I don't play chess. That's a wink to you, Mateus. Let's see. Okay, so
I have no idea what that means. And
not caught up. Not caught up. All right, but potential. We're gonna participles. Where is?
well, we're up here. Like we have the habitual, hypothetical, the auxiliary. Like the dog continues to bark. So I think it's going to go after this because this is the continuative auxiliary.
Yes.
It's either that or we could do it. Like here we've got trying to bark, and up above we have the hypothetical.
Our final stop.
And habitual. Anyway, yeah.
In this tour of the many auxiliaries of Hauhoff, language of the mighty dogs, is our potential auxiliary, whose form is, and now we're there. So yes, we need a form, a good old verb. It can be, I'm going to say, CBC or VC. That is my request.
Seeing if we have. Oh, we did have.
Ureb Halquim.
These were from a previous suggestion that didn't make it.
You want to do it? Just throw them in there? Those four?
Oh, these four? I guess it.
Ureb Halquim. We gotta aspirate those. Halquim.
Yes. Someday we'll use this one. Oh. But not for this. This is way too heavy.
All right, here we go. What shall the form of our potential auxiliary be? Okay.
I'll pop them in Deluxergy, but I don't think they do.
Well, the Q obviously changes.
Right.
Okay.
But
I don't think it's gonna be happy with that.
oh my gosh, I left the asterisks in.
Yeah.
Wow. I was so confused momentarily.
Okay, so yeah, it's just
but yeah, so it really stays. Yeah. All right, and then pronunciations are really straightforward. Eb, kal, claim. Thank you. David has to put up with my pronunciations whether he wants to or not. Because this is the dog language.
By the way, that was the clap from Dua Lipa's Levitating, which I just like to throw in periodically to keep us on beat.
Dun, dun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can't. Don't do too much of the song. Don't do too much.
I'm levitating.
Otherwise, we make it, Let's make sure we say Dua Lipa's name enough to. We're not trying to claim this music is ours.
I need you.
Oh my goodness.
Moonlight, you're my
I have lost him once again.
I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. Huh?
I love you.
We already did pronunciation.
This is. I'll do it one more time though because that's on task. more than levitating is ur ib kal quim. And so we've got these options. How many votes we got coming in? Where are we sitting?
We're tied. We're tied at Ebb and Kal.
Still tied, but in a very different way.
We're
oh
now,
my
we
god,
now
now
have
we have a
three-way tie.
three-way.
Ebb, Kal,
So
and
everybody get into your secondary accounts, tertiary accounts, and
either that or Bibluridian can just settle this right now. Tell us what the answer is.
but it can't be ur because that one is the lowest. So Bibluridian is forced to choose.
So let's see. If there are 15 votes, 3 are the same, and 1 has less. What has slightly less? What
it's
is
like one vote off.
Yeah. So what is the vote then? So is that 3, 3, 3? No, because that would be. I think is it 4? No, it can't be. Well, 4.
Yeah, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3.
4, 4, 4, 3. That's what we're at.
There we go, Dynamite. See, everybody's rolling in with the math.
Yeah.
Very cool. Speaking of math, I was very excited that I mathed out my crochet project that I'm working on now, and I mathed out the half hexagon, and it worked, and I was super stoked about it. So are we just leaving this, or do you want to do a runoff vote?
I guess, actually a runoff vote makes sense. Why don't you end it?
Okay, so I'm going to take David's. Oh my gosh, David. In between me saying that and then reaching for your computer, that happened.
I don't know. I think it's illegitimate.
Okay, so David is saying no to the votes that just came in.
Illegitimate.
And I totally thought when I closed it, it said 27, and I was like, how do we jump from like 15 to 27?
All right, here we go.
And so now it's going to be a runoff between Kal, Ib, and Quinn were the 3 that were top, right? Because Ur was the outcast. All right, we're going to do a runoff vote of the 3 that were in the lead before the random final push. Because I didn't reach fast enough to stop the poll in its tracks.
All right, there we go.
Do you have a favorite?
Not really. Like, I'm not a fan of any of the 4.
Then why'd you say yeah?
Because sometimes you need a little something like that.
It's actually a good point.
Yeah.
I was in my head thinking today about some inspirational speeches about conlanging, and that's one of them where it's like every language you learn, you're going to have a form you don't like and are not excited about, but it's like it's part of the language, you deal. And so, I was thinking about that today.
We may need to go to another runoff.
Why?
Well, it's holding pretty steady.
Because you misspelled runoff?
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But I feel like the dogs would spell it that way, so it's all good.
Hold on. We've got Kyle pulling ahead again after I say we need to go to another runoff. Who is this?
Was it Colin Ebb?
Yeah, it was Colin Ebb.
Anime fans saw the typo as well. Yes, Chris. See, that's how I think the dogs would feel too. All the extra consonants.
All right, I'm ending this. We're going to another runoff.
Runoff part 2. This time we're gonna take out an N, and you should also take out an F just to be fun. If we're gonna, the runoff.
This is the next runoff, so.
Oh my goodness, yes. And Kal. One more time.
Oh, remember, this is for the verb tear.
Yes, this is for the verb tear, which will become our permissive and ability.
And out of nowhere, Qatar has won.
This is very exciting. All right, I am ready. Just got to fill in some forms here. I'm ready to make our little entry note.
It's separated by one vote, but I mean, I think it's got to be it, man.
Yeah, I think Kyle keeps coming up. Coming up roses.
It's done.
I don't remember how we did the L. I swear. Shoot. No, it's not. I should have Googled. I should have searched the document first. We use Quim and Co. Why were these still here?
I don't know. I'm not in charge of the document.
Were we doing? Shoot. Okay, we didn't have or. And this is the only place ip is used. But we used belly and body, Quim and Ka.
Well.
Wow.
I give you three options here. Option number one, we go with the protoform KAL. It's going to sound identical in the modern. So yeah, we could just say there's just a separate protoform. It sounds identical, and just go with that, and then the winner will be the winner. That's one option. Option two
is to fire Jesse.
Option two. Option two is going to be to listen. There is so much gender fluidity in our viewership that it's hard to say it counts against one and not the other. Which, by the way, I think it's just an absolutely tremendous thing. It really touches my heart to know that there are so many people living their best lives that watch us. It makes me happy. Anyway, I mean, we're all trying anyway. We're trying to live our best lives.
Making some assumptions there, man.
Yeah,
I think I'm living my.
I know. I know. We're trying our best. But okay, so that option one, just a like a protoform that's different that sounds identical in the modern. Option two is to turn this word body into something that means strength. So in other words, like the actual phrasing would be, I am a body for blah, 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 blah. And so if you say something like, I am a body for eating rocks, it means I can eat rocks. You are a body for eating rocks.
That is actually really fascinating.
Okay.
However, that does go against the poll that we did.
It does.
More recently.
So
that's it. Mateus. See, I'm telling you, Mateus is just spot on here.
That's why I became McCain. Anyway, you're not going to live that down.
Oh my gosh.
Even though, of course, I'm on Instagram and Threads under not my username. Gosh, that makes me so upset. Anyway, so that's the second option. So we turn the word for body into the construction. The third option is we go with ebb as the backup, the second place. So yeah, we're going to have to go to another poll here.
Option 2, I'm typing it up here. Change the root to body instead of tear. Option 3, declare ebb the winner for tear. There we go. So option 1, we're keeping the spirit of the winner alive.
Yes.
So we're going to change to tear to ko instead of ko. Ko will still be body in the protoform. Ko will be to tear. So 2 different roots that just happen to sound alike, which similar, not alike, but similar, which happens. I mean, happens, so totally doable. Modern forms will be the same. We could change the root of what we're doing for this auxiliary to the noun body. So we will change the construction, change the root to like I, am the body for eating rocks, so I can eat rocks. So then we would get to keep that kal protoform that won the races. Or we can say the second place winner gets it, and ib means to tear, and we move forward.
Yeah, and again, as Chris said, the reason this is happening is because we realized we already used the root of the winner. So we already used it to mean the noun body.
Which is up here clearly in the list. And I forgot to check the document when we were looking at forms because I didn't think we had to. But there we have it. I made a mistake. David is perfect and never makes mistakes. Good question, Viren, but I think so. Just in case I typed it differently. Because I thought we made body for something. Or were we just deciding to make?
I think we just wanted to use those roots because they were there and we hadn't used them yet.
Fair.
I think they like our alternate strategy.
Oh, is it? Oh, body. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, by a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Good deal.
All right. So, taking that away. Taking these options away. And now we're going to have a very different strategy. I checked Ur and Eb. They are not protoforms, so we can keep those.
All right.
On the list of things we can create. And now we're ready to go back to the verb section.
Yes.
And we're ready to type this out. And this is going to be a different auxiliary from anything we've done. This is so wild and amazing. And I'm really excited about it.
All right. I also want to just check, did we write anything else about...
From the forms, we just say like from protoform.
Oh my God.
What's up? We did use body? Oh, for the adverbs.
But we used the wrong word. In other words, I was looking at these two lines and I accidentally mixed them up. Can you go up to where I am?
You're just in this list. You don't want to look at.
Okay. No, I need everybody to see this to understand what happened. So for adverbs, we came up with this etymology that means in the body of. However, I was looking at this and I did the thing that I do with lists like this. My eyes kind of mix things up sometimes. I mixed up this word and that word. And so I meant to write and actually wrote in the grammar that the phrase ogwem, which is gwem is
belly.
Right? I wrote that it means in the body of, as opposed to in the belly of. So there it is. The phrase owema derives from the phrase ogwema, in the body of.
And of course, then that was the whole basis of the owemawa.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a mistake that needs to be fixed, and it's either going to be fixed by we swap the meanings of belly and body, or we change this to mean with or by or in the belly of. In other words, it's like
saying the dog is sleeping in the belly of quiet.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's kind of cool.
Are we good with this? All right.
In the belly.
In the belly.
In the belly of the beast.
Wow.
Whew. Okay, so now we can go back to our body.
Go back.
Oh, we are on fire, y'all.
This is how conlanging works.
There we go.
All right. Okay, back.
This is great.
Our potential auxiliaries. What is call body? Is used as the matrix verb of the clause. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not. It's a noun. Right.
It's a noun. Yeah. I totally get that, Mateus, by the way. It's like by the time you go back and forth between two different ideas or two different parts of a grammar document, or just even two different things to think about, and it's like at some point you're thinking, which one did I actually use? And like you're convinced you use one, and then you later find out that you've been writing the wrong thing the whole time. Oh, it's good stuff. But I like to think I'm mimicking how language changes in real life, because really a lot of language change is driven by some area of speaker confusion.
Yeah.
So I like to think that I'm just generating real-time changes in a language when I do that. And it's like, you know what? It's messy. Languages are too. There we have it.
Okay, so now we need, I'm just going to throw that there. All right. It's the equative copula. Which is do.
Ooh, yeah. Clicked in. Do, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, with the dot. Do.
Yep.
Do. Oh, I think that was my best pharyngeo I've done yet. I just did.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That was exciting. Oh, and Chris, yeah, you don't have to watch us too long to see all sorts of mistakes that can sweep through. And Helly Belly right back at you, Miles.
Can you
scroll up? Scroll down.
I need the chart for
this color coded one?
Yeah, the color one. Okay. Can you go down to that one?
To the
to the
To the asterisk?
yes.
Will palatalize somewhat.
Instances of palatalization need to be learned. Oh, it's because it's Q.
It's Q versus K.
So it doesn't palatalize.
No.
So it is
It's
KH.
Yeah.
And so it's
rather, I guess.
a chal.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna
Got
see
some
if
Dothraki in here. Get our dog Rocky on.
Dog Rocky.
So I once for Seal Beach, for Seal Beach Animal Rescue, the same company that does the Wiener Dog Internationals. Mm-hmm. They had my friend Laura was doing some sort of promotion for them, and so we created this thing where I would give people's dogs Dothraki names.
Ooh, yeah.
A little certificate with their dog name on it, and Aaron made a tire iron throne out of dog bones.
Nice.
That little dogs could actually sit on. It was plush. It was very cute. And I could never decide on what the best version of Dothraki, of dog Dothraki was. There's, Dog Rocky. There was Bark Rocky or Doth Barky, and then the combination Dog Barky.
Well, I like Dog Barky, Dog Rocky, and Doth Barky, but like the middle one just didn't make sense to me.
Bark Rocky.
Yeah. No. Yeah, the Bark Rocky.
Yeah.
No.
Hmm.
Oh, nice. And Miles, what? We're not fallible. We do these mistakes on purpose to drive.
Okay.
Oh man, that's like in a cooking show when they like present this dish that's like really not at all what they intended to make, and they're like, "I decided to present a deconstructed pie for you today," and it's like, no one ever decides to do a deconstructed pie. Something goes terribly wrong, and you're like, "Well, this is what I'm serving."
It's a deconstructed cake. It's like here's
the flour.
Here's flour.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm kind of crying. I'm laughing so hard.
Okay, so we need to talk about this preposition here.
And you got that right, Miles.
So the dog is a body for, right? And so I think we want to use wa.
Have we done any sort of purposeness or with respect to-ness?
But let's see what the original sources for our three prepositions are.
Gosh, I swear I clicked up higher. There we go. It was chase, lie, and heal.
Heel. Yeah. Wait, following or chasing? So I have a body that chases eating, or I have a body that follows eating.
I think I like the latter better, the wa. I mean, we use it for everything, but like, I feel like I like it better.
All right. Cool.
Because it's like, I have the body for doing something. And like, I feel like with that purposive, you get that forness, that to-ness of it.
All right. I really enjoyed being on Face Off, and it was kind of a strange experience having to kind of like, critique people's makeups, when I had absolutely no experience doing so with people who had all the experience doing so. And it was also kind of fascinating for me. It was kind of like an awkward fly on the wall because two of the judges got into a really big argument about one of the makeups in particular, because two of the judges thought it was one of the best ones and the other judge thought it was the worst one. And to the point where it's like when we went out to do the recording for when we made our decisions and like we were actually supposed to record it, we all had an earpiece in our ear from a producer. we were talking, and like this, one of them, kind of started arguing. The producer said, "Hey, it sounds like maybe you're not as settled on this solution. Maybe you should go back." And so they actually sent all the contestants back, and we went back into the room, and man, they argued again. So that was fun.
Wow. I actually, so if you recall, after that episode had come out, I forget whether it was like a year later or something. Anyway, you were coming to SFA to visit for the talk, for one of the talks that you gave for conlanging. But like one of the classes I was teaching at the time was basically a linguistic analysis of language used in reality television. And so looking at the ways that how people are portrayed as speaking and how they edit dialogue to create identity essentially through language use and kind of portray a particular identity for viewers through language use. And so I had my students actually watch that episode before you came so that way you could talk to them about your experiences behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because it's always really interesting when you hear the full version of like how things went down versus like how it's edited so that way you only see bits and pieces, or like how some things are dramatized, other things are played down. And yeah, I thought that was a really cool discussion.
Kay is here, by the way, also.
Oh, thank you, Kay.
Kay, I don't know if you can see this. But...
Oh yeah, David's shirt really is perfect.
Yeah.
Short and sassy.
We need this. You need this shirt as well, Kay. We gotta. Those of us who are not endowed with height need to stick together. Oh yeah, I think you missed the thing at the beginning of the episode. We were talking about the Wiener Dog Nationals that we attended. That's the reason we have these. But
yeah, on Saturday we went to dog races to see the Wiener Dog Nationals. Very fun race, not a serious race at all. Okay. But very cute to watch wiener dogs.
Yeah, and
running for like 20 feet. I swear it was only like maybe. I guess it was longer than 20 feet, but it was not very long.
Yeah. By the way, to put a cap on the face-off, one thing I will say is that especially when I'm doing the judging part, I looked at that and I think it's probably the best I have ever looked in my entire life. And I was just so grateful that it was on television because it's like, there it is. Now, whatever else happens in my life, I can always point to that and say, look at how darn good I looked. It was amazing.
Let's see if I can find a screenshot.
All right.
David Peterson on Face Off Show.
The dog can bark.
So not David Peterson on a Face Off Show.
That's me.
Oh, right there. There you are. Okay.
Yeah.
I just immediately was like, baseball, 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 which I know David Peterson is a baseball player, and I know that this happens.
That's a coincidence. Nailene, I guess she's in New York or something, but she texted me as like, hey, did you know there's a David Peterson on the Mets? I'm like, yes, I know.
Sorry, what is this from? That's like
LA Times.
Exciting.
You recognize in the background?
I feel like that background is what you used on the Instagram posts, but like, what is that background?
That's the thing in front of the fireplace at Aaron's house with the fire behind it.
Were you just sitting in front of it, or is that photoshopped in?
No, just in front of it. Yeah.
Did they take that picture? They come to your house?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, but here's David living his best, looking his best.
Yeah.
On.
Actually, I might look a little better now.
I think you do, but
it's dressed very well.
But David feels he's looking his best there, and so there we have it.
All right. I mean, you got to see it live. Oh, you know Neville Page? That was, by the way, it was Neville. He was the one that was just livid that the other two would think that this makeup was like a top look, when he said like it was like not only just the bottom for the day, but like it was like the worst of the season up to that point.
Now listen, Face Off, that was a fun episode, but I think that To Tell the Truth one was potentially even better.
Oh yeah.
That one was a lot of fun to watch. I don't know how David feels about his looks on that episode.
Not as good.
Not as good, but and it's called To Tell the Truth, right?
Yes.
Where they like bring out, was it 3 people altogether? Who were pretending to be the creator of Dothraki?
Yes.
And then like a panel of celebrity judges had to decide which one was actually the creator of Dothraki. It was good stuff.
And then I think it's Ahwab. Okay. I just need to make sure that these forms are right. I'm pretty
Back to
sure.
the color chart.
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. And then Quav, it's KW. Yeah, that's correct. Okay.
So I am curious though. Okay.
Oh, he did the Cloverfield monster? I did not know that. I never saw Cloverfield.
Chris, no, they didn't, did they? You were just up with 2 random people.
Oh no, yeah, no. They never have other people that do the actual things. They're either just totally random. Sometimes they're actors, or for my particular competition, like it was a double, because one of the guys had also created the hashtag. As we know it, he worked at Twitter, and while he worked at Twitter, he created the hashtag. So once they did, the reveal for me, and I was eliminated, then with the remaining 2, they said, and one of these 2 was the creator of the hashtag, and they went on like that.
All right. So the A is necessary as part of the tool construction, because that's the I. And so Chal, so it's like the dog is kind of the body, essentially.
Yeah, and then the what?
And then for,
and then
the chasing of a bird.
Yeah.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah. I'm going to just write out in words how that works. Okay. So...
while you're writing that out, I need to back away. I'll be right back. Entertain the masses. And then when I get back, we're celebrating with Kofi Cup.
Yeah. Oh, shoot, I don't remember at this point, Mr. Laridian. I think it might have been the one that was like Octopussy or Squiddish, where they really liked it, and he said it was like one of the worst he'd ever seen. I think it was that one. Okay, so the copula. So the one who is able is the subject of the copular construction, which co-occurs with Kal, preposed by A, thus A Chal. This is then followed by a prepositional phrase headed by what? The preposition is followed by a nominalized form of the verb. Okay, a nominalized form of the verb, which is the action that the subject of the copular construction is able to perform. If this verb has any objects, they are rendered with the genitive I. All right. Actually, I guess A is more common.
Well, yeah, we did realize that was potentially common. Okay.
Okay, we are done.
I'm ready to celebrate.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
What do you mean by that, Chris? Because onomatopoeia can end up being used for noun concepts, but also for verb concepts, and so
Yeah.
Not sure. Cheers. Sorry.
You can probably see onomatopoeia showing up as every part of speech in some language or other. You can use it as a preposition. Yeah, he sat the chair.
And then the chair went.
Mm-hmm. Go Pico. The one with a little hair.
In case people are wondering if that's actually something attached, it's just the candy melted a little in the corner.
Yeah.
And so that is just like a little tail that was created by the candy. It's all candy though.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Chris, that totally works. Kay is not believing us that was part of the candy.
Uh-huh.
Trying to think of a really clear example.
I don't understand. It's just how you're using it though. Like I have there are nouns that are onomatopoeic in Valerian. There are also verbs, probably more verbs than nouns. But it has nothing to do with. It's just the root. You know what? There's two different types of onomatopoeia. Now that I think about this, and there's a specialized term for the latter. There's when the root is inspired. No, that you're thinking of a different thing. Here's where the root is inspired by the sound that it makes.
Kind of in a sound symbolism.
Yeah, but then there's a different type of word that's like, or or bang, or not even bang, like things like that are just noises, and those are just performances, right? But it's like I think bang is onomatopoeic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just think about it.
Zoom, pop, buzz.
Yeah, there was a bang, and then it buzzed by, But like also just like for example, like the word for tear is onomatopoeic in High Valyrian. It's tessagon, where tessa is just like, well, the a is just thrown on because it needs to be there. What's important is the long s, and then the definite start. So tessagon, right, is tear. It just means tear. It doesn't mean to like make a tearing sound, and so that's the key difference here. You're talking about things where it's like the whole meaning is it's making this kind of sound or something, like splash, versus like this the root for this very normal meaning is onomatopoeic.
Like there are sources that think that our verb hurry is onomatopoeic. And it's like hurry, yeah.
Miles says, all onomatopoeia are born naked and the rest is drag.
I love that, Miles. That's amazing.
And also, Jake offers us the tok tok is the sound of, in Korean, is apparently the sound of being clever. Sorry, tok tok, trying to do that. It's like, there have been like all these people trying to describe the the sound of these three different these three different stops in Korean, and use all this technical terminology, but like honestly, it's just you just pronounce it like you're trying to sound like you're cool. So it's like not, pop, but pop. Yeah.
You are sassy.
And you know how I figured this out, by the way? It was from that song by Blackpink called Boombayah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I was listening to this, and they have this one word that they say, and it's like, that sounds like the kind of like anime girl thing when they're saying that. I wonder if that's that P. And I looked it up, and indeed it was. It's the part where they go boom ba,
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like, that's what that is. Can't believe it. Anyway.
Also, hello, CJ.
Yeah.
All right. Not only are we still on, but we just finalized
we're done.
The final auxiliary that we
We're
had planned
done.
for.
Look at how much verb stuff we did. Remember when we started all the verb stuff and we're like, we're going to do verb stuff. We have so much verb stuff.
Like, we need a mega Kopiko just to, like, celebrate.
Mm.
I want to give...
Oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've baked hard candy into baked goods before. Like, break it out. I've done that with, like, peppermints. Why can't I do it with Kopiko?
Mm.
Interesting. Anyway, I do want to give us a little shout out.
Okay.
Because every time we have to look back at some old documents that we have, I'm reminded at how much better we've gotten at filling out systems and actually writing them down.
Yep.
This is really a great example. And at some point when we're in a patron live stream and we have to revisit Pahla, we're going to see just how bad it was in season 2 in terms of documentation and how little we have.
Yeah.
By way of examples and grammatical strategies. And so go us. Woo! All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I got confused by something I saw. All right, so let's look at the next kind of blank things that we have. Go to the bottom of the verbs.
Go past the adverbs?
Yeah, past the adverbs. Coordination. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's really easy to do if you imitate people where you're trying to make fun of somebody who's trying to sound cool. It's like, I don't know, like, you're the lazy DM, and it's like, then Lord of the Manor goes, you can never even begin to understand how to do this. And he casts the infinity spell, which destroys you, and all of your party is wiped, and your corpses are dust. And that's the end. That type of thing. You can kind of feel like, this kind of like tensing in there.
Sorry. Tethys's comment. Because up above, I think it was CJ. Yeah, CJ was trying to type, like a geminate P. And for whatever reason, his keyboard or their keyboard like auto-corrected to feminine P. And it took like 4 more attempts to be like, geminate is what I meant. And so anyway.
Yep.
So let's do coordination.
Yeah.
Before relative clauses.
It's a fun one. When coordination is the same as with?
I like it. Do we have a with?
No.
Commutative? Commutative? Commitative?
Commitative.
Commitative? Commitative. Okay.
Getting a little too sassy, sassafras, Sam's.
Anyway, you're the one with the sassy T-shirt.
That's right. So
There we go. I typed it.
The thing is, I think the last time that the comitative reared, did you spell it wrong? Did I spell it wrong? Wait, what's going on? Did it not show up on my screen? Okay, there. Okay, and maybe it just didn't show up yet.
That's how you spell it, right?
No, it is.
I'm going to teach it to Pages.
I think it just didn't show up on my screen. Really not.
Now Pages knows the word. I've been trying to teach it more linguistic terms since I've been using it a lot to type up linguistic stuff.
Huh. Well, George is saying with can come from follow, and of course we already have heal. How much would it break things if we just use the word for heal? It's a genitive. It's a genitive. That would really mess things up.
We have overused our three little prepositions as it is. I think we should do something new.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hold on.
We do have a word for sniff if we do want to use that. It's cute. It has pockets. I can see what she's doing right there. I look forward to the day that women's clothing catches up with kids' clothing, because all the kids' clothing right now has pockets, and real pockets, normal-sized pockets. Women's clothing still does not. And so, like, they still have to advertise, like, there's pockets. You shouldn't have to advertise that on clothes. That should be a given. Who doesn't want pockets? Anyway, sorry, I'll get off my pocket platform.
I like it. It might be too many other potential meanings, but hang on a second. So Chris Helvey is pointing out where the merging of two cases. Can you merge the genitive and the comitative? Will that ever cause problems?
It could cause problems, but if you're thinking about it meaning-wise, I could see how it would work, because if something is yours, then it's often with you. And so, like, if you're like, have, thinking dogs, like I have a collar or something, right? Which we'll call it a necklace. And if I have this necklace and I'm wearing it, then it's like, I have it, I'm with it. And so, like, I can see how the two could end up overlapping to the point where it's like you end up using it.
So I thought of a place where you'd run into problems, which is that the dog's mother went to the store is far different from the dog went to the store with a mother, or the mother went to the store with a dog. Either way, I don't know which one it's supposed to be. But in one case, one person went, and the other one, two people went. So
yeah,
no, I can't do that. And it's also something that's really a really common situation. Often people are asked, where is this person, or where are these people? And so it seems like an odd place to consistently have ambiguity.
Yeah. Are you thinking more noun or verb oriented?
There's no agreement on the verb, Chris, because I know what you're thinking, Chris. Like, well, verb agreement would clear that up. Plural subject versus singular subject. Except no, there's no verb agreement. Okay, so I'm sorry. Say that again.
Were you thinking more noun or verb oriented for our root?
I don't know.
Because our other ones are verbs. If we have a same preposition style. You reading the comments?
Yeah, I'm reading the
okay.
comments. How do dogs follow each other, interact? Usually, my sniff idea was about that sniffing.
Okay. I'm just gonna. Side tail.
Well, I mean, while we're doing this though, coordination, we have noun, noun, but also sentence, sentence. And they could be different. And we have sentence, sentence, simultaneous versus consecutive.
And then sniff was on there. And we've already used chase as our accusative one. Side lie. Dogs often, when they're close to each other, like they like each other, and they want to sleep, they will often kind of get on top of each other and create a little dog pile. There's a reason it's called a dog pile. And so pile is another thing where it's like, you know, it's the one you pile with, and you're with them.
How do we do participles? Let's scroll up real quick.
A genitival construction.
Dog sleeping. Okay, scroll back down.
What did I just miss? You're not friends with your local neighborhood ticks.
I don't think anybody is.
Oh, George says, I don't think biting or latching is friendly enough. I see where that came from, Jake. Nice. Oh, Chris, I already put pack down, as in under the nouns, as in a group of dogs. Oh my gosh, Miles, I had forgotten about that. But yes. In Tethys, I already have side as a noun option. And so these are the ones I currently have. I'm impressed that you're awake at all right now, Jake. So good on you. And also, we don't tend to have ticks in our area, so we don't have neighborhood ticks right now. That's one reason David is not a super fan of where I come from in the summertime. Oh, cuddle. I'm a oops.
Okay.
Snuggle.
So like,
cuddle.
I'm gonna, cause like I think you're all only looking at NN, but like.
Would that be for SS?
The first ones are, the second ones. This could be SS, but this could be. Kind of like in the pile of. It's pretty long.
Thinking for SS, well, follow I feel like could be used for sentence. for the consecutive reading. One follows the next. Or one guides the next, one leads the next. But I was thinking like another a noun version of the and then. No, I was trying to play around with the idea of leaving a space being like the and then, because it's like this happened and then leaving that this happened.
Okay, that's good.
But I don't know how to put that into construction idea words. But it's kind of the idea that you do something in one space and then you leave and do something else, and so it's one leaving.
No, I think that's good enough that it could just be it could be very old and get eroded. So it just comes from a verb that means leave. And so that could be our consecutive. I like that. And I was just, I kind of love that. And I'd love to, I think this is done. It's going to be bolted and gilded. There we go. House. I appreciate the wildness of that suggestion.
See, we could have it, like at the side or tail of, which really is a noun, but like taking that and moving it to a bigger phrase.
And that's something that could be and comitative.
Right.
Yeah. So that would be something a.
And if we had something really short, it could end up hopefully kind of working all together.
Yeah. Check out CJ over there living in their high rise. I don't think I've ever seen a rock in my life.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like they have caviar for breakfast.
Indeed.
Born in a tuxedo.
Okay, so would, in the same space of potentially having an older form that could just erode and become another sentence level for the simultaneous. I like something like join for that. Because it's like you could, the dog chases the ball, joining the squirrel runs up the tree. So it's like this is happening at the same time.
I like it. I like it. All right. So
because then we could have like a different strategy for the noun where it's the bigger kind of construction.
Yeah. I like this. I really like it. And so it's going to need to be side or something. A. And so if it'd be very convenient, I think, if whatever side was resulted in a CVC form. It could be a CVC form where the first consonant is changed by the M of the O. It could also just be a VC form so that the OM stays for O. So we need some suggestions. We also need to see, is there a word for side already?
We have side lie.
Yeah. What about tail? Oh, we don't have a word for tail. How about that?
Okay.
Tabby's suggesting ebb, and it would be omebe.
Literally the first thing that came to mind. Before you had even like typed out the construction was something like bum. And then like when you typed out the construction, I was like, oh, Obama. That made me laugh. Anyway. Oh, actually it'd be omame.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
If it was a V, if it was a V, it would be Obame. What do you like the sound of? Omebe, omame, obame? What do you think?
I also like the G for some reason, so I was trying to think of like, but we just did a K root, a Q root.
Omege? Or are you thinking ogeme?
Like something with the G at the beginning.
Ogale, ogane, ogade.
But we could also get an N at the beginning, because if it started with a D, we could actually get an N.
Yeah. Oname, oneme. Everybody's coming to my house. We're going to eat there.
Is that right?
There's going to be music. It's going to be cool music that goes.
Okay, so I think ebb should be up for vote just because it was a form that went fairly well.
Also, for the patron vote, we'll do the style of the writing system. Got one. Let's get some others in there.
Wait, ebb.
You want amore? Since amore?
Well,
That's amore.
if we did use bum, we would get omame. If you like that, if you don't like it, then don't use it. If we
That's
did
fine.
the
just as long as we haven't used it.
I will double check that before you send out the poll. the V becomes a B,
Yeah.
and so it could be like obade or obate or oba. Obaje. If you like any of those. I'm really leaning towards O or obviously, but it could be any vowel.
Yeah. I've got 2 forms down. You just got to give me 2 more.
B. Bye. Oops. No. Move. I was trying to. I can't do that in here.
Right.
Oh, we have boom down here as one we haven't used.
Embed. We're taking too much time. I'm gonna have to.
I would love for you to come up with one you like, because I'm just yelling out ideas.
All right.
Oh, nice.
What's another one?
What? Do these just all become velar, and do anything happen?
We don't have an I, Chris.
We could get an engma and do like amore.
I'm gonna pass on that.
Okay.
It's got to be quick.
I like the R for that then. We could do
Allure?
something like TED odede. All right. Now before you send that, oh, that's fine. I was gonna check the other forms to make sure we don't have the. We have duck, but we don't have. Yeah, duck is the closest we get to that one. And the other one was a T, right? Yeah, talk.
Boy, no love for Ted.
But at least all of our forms are viable. We haven't used them. So even if they don't get votes, they're at least viable.
Wow, it's just going back and forth. Oh, there's Ted getting the vote. Oof. I think there's one outstanding vote there. Nope. Oh, looks like you got your wish.
It was just something I was throwing out. If you didn't like it, you shouldn't have put it in there. I was not.
Oh no, last minute tie.
It just reminds me of.
Oh my god, a last minute pull ahead. Bibbleridian, are you still here? What should we choose?
It just reminded me of like the umami thing. So it's like umame.
Goodness gracious. Oh wow. Last minute drama.
No surprise. It's really unfortunate that we use the.
Oh, Bibbleridian voted for Ebb.
So.
And henceforth, he will be known as
Bibbleridian.
With new nickname Beb.
So I was just thinking something, and then I got sidetracked because of the ebb.
I'm gonna say that Beb is the Lem version of Bib.
I don't even know what that is.
It's all right, but yeah, I think we're
okay.
O'Nolly.
Right, you said you wanted quick, and you went with that.
O'Nolly. Well, you had your chance. All right. Is that going to be the word for tail or side? What do you like better? Thal.
Well, side, because otherwise it sounds like you're just saying tail. It's an accent.
That ball is too long. I don't even know what accent that would be. Wow.
Right. This is another L situation.
Noun phrases and other like phrases are coordinated via a prepositional phrase that is identical to the comitative. An example is shown below. Yeah. What was the word for cat? Was it eh?
That's catch. Weh, eh.
That's right. Eh.
All these fricatives are getting in the way of my search.
I love it. The cat and the dog are sleeping, and I'm gonna switch that around. Oh wow.
Well, do you count schlep? Oh, there we go. Tethys said the same thing. But yeah, they're borrowings. Like we have them.
Yeah, Bram Yeah, all right, there we go. And then just let me throw in a quick little explanation. These also have a comitative reading. Comitative, non-dirty reading.
Oh my gosh. Of all verbs to choose, David.
It was handy. All right, and so then we'll pick up on this next time. I mean, we pretty much just need forms because I think we're both pretty happy with it. So we'll just move on after that. Probably relative clauses, I think. That are questions. Did we already do yes/no questions? I feel like we did.
I thought we did, but then we may have done that in another language, and I'm just confusing it.
Yeah, I think it's another language. No, we don't have that. All right. Okay. Next time.
Yeah, next week. So in the meantime, stay grammar. And yeah, we'll see you Saturday if you're a patron.
Yeah.
Otherwise, be back next Thursday. And here we go. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Stay grammar.